Glenn Parker High Vibration Foundation. I wanted to talk about equitable exchange. It also can be called fair trade, but there's some other aspects of equitable exchange. I just did a video on money, and it was going to run too long. I wanted to get into this topic, but I think it's kind of a topic all of its own. And it's a pretty broad topic, but let's go ahead and tackle it. Now, equitable exchange, what is that? Let's say you want a DVD and you go down to the store and you buy a DVD, you come home, or a Blu-ray, and you pop it in and you watch it. That's equitable. Provided that it was one that was commercially manufactured to be sold, and not one that's at the store that somebody just has a box of DVDs that's on the corner. Okay, so let's say that you go to the guy that has a DVD on the corner and, just has a box of DVDs, and you can tell the covers aren't the printed covers that are supposed to be on there, and that they're printed on rewritable discs, and, they're not mass manufactured, and you buy one of those. And you bring it home, you watch it. It's pretty similar to the other one. It may not be exactly the same picture quality because, it's not a dual layer disc or whatever. It's not as high a quality. And you watched it. Well, that now is an equitable exchange. You're creating a deficit within your energies, and here's why. Now, you gave somebody money who had nothing to do with the production, who didn't have any part of the creative process, that didn't go through all the creativity, that didn't have any of the writing processes, that didn't do any of the artwork on the box, that didn't ship the DVDs to the final manufacturer. So getting back to it, if you went down to the store and you bought it, then the person in the store, their salary is being covered, and they're able to go buy things and pay their car payments and buy their favorite cereal and go buy their girlfriend a diamond jewelry, to get engaged or to have kids or what have you, and all the people that did the movie get a piece of that as a consequence of working on the movie, from either being originally paid or they're getting a percentage of the movie because they have a particular stake in the movie. Now, they can do greater projects, and there's more creativity, and there's more opportunity for people to work that have worked on those types of projects. Now, that's a prime example. Now, downloading music, downloading movies, it's probably even worse because you're just doing an electronic print of it, and you're sitting there and watching it. And I'm not gonna. I've done this in the past myself. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm paying for all my stuff because I found that it does create some inequities in your monetary exchange, your personal monetary exchange. And here's what it does: is you kind of like a lint dryer, where you put your clothes in the dryer, you dry them, and you put another load in there, and you dry them, you put another load in there, dry them. Like, why is this last load taking so long to dry? And, oh, I didn't, pull out the lint sheet and go, whoa, it's ready to attack me, and take that all off and toss it out. Your lint trap is getting, your energetic lint trap is getting more and more clogged energetically. You're clogging it up because of all these other inequitable exchanges. You're creating some inequities in your own energy. And that goes to your whole toroidal energy being, from your heart center, you put out a toroidal energy all around your body. It's a whole vacuum between all your chakras. And I'm not sure which chakras generally represent money, wherever those energetics. It could be different concepts in different parts of your body, depending on the person too, very likely. But you're creating inequity there, and you're creating some deficits. And that will show up in your own monetary exchange with other people, or things will start getting clogged, like the lint dryer, still the lint thing. And you're going to notice, well, why isn't money flowing like it used to? Or why can't I manifest like I once did? Or I'm trying to manifest this and it seems to be stuck. And it's because in your super consciousness and your unconscious, you know that there's some inequity in there, and you haven't ferreted that, and that translates into your whole being as a whole, because it translates into your belief systems as what you can manifest and what you can have. And it doesn't always translate that way. Some people don't feel that downloading movies and those other things are issues, but it's still in your overall. If it's not within your core belief systems, it's within your energetics, and that obviously just manifests as well. So these types of inequities, what can you do? If you have music, you can do, like nowadays, you can do the Google All Access, where you get, for $10 a month, you get all music And now, since that music that you might have downloaded in days of past that you just love and you listen to over and over and over again, you can now have access to, and it's now a fair exchange, and it's not going and paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for all the music that you might have. Just for instance, just as a suggestion, I'm not saying that it alleviates all of your inequities, but that's just an idea of taking a step toward that end. If you have something that you really, really, really do like, then I greatly suggest going out and buying it if you hadn't bought it originally. And that goes the same for movies and DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. You know, you can start getting Netflix subscriptions, or you can get Hulu and, you know, watch them on Hulu where you have to tolerate the commercials, but at least, you know, you're not downloading the episode and with the commercials chopped out, etc., etc. So, what other things can you do? Let's say you've downloaded things that were seminars or something like that, that were not something you could just go out and maybe buy a DVD for or something. Somebody that's maybe not quite as well known or whatnot, you can send them an anonymous check if you want, for whatever amount you feel is worth, you know, what the exchange was. Even if it's not for the full amount, if it's something that you can do as a percentage, you know, you can send them that. Let's get a money order and send it, you know, where that's anonymous, and you send it and now it's gone. Just don't put an address on it. And you can just say, hey, I just want a more equitable exchange between us. I downloaded your stuff a while ago. I found it very useful, and I just want to do this. Here's $20 or whatever it is that you feel you can give them that helps clear this energetic cloud that you have. Other ways you can kind of clear out your energetic field. For instance, on Bashar Communications, you know, we watch so much stuff on YouTube. I know I have in the past. And there's a place on Bashar's website now that actually says, hey, you know, we know this stuff comes out, and they do allow like 3 videos or something the last time I checked that are 5 minutes long or something like that. But there's a lot more stuff out there than just that's on YouTube that has been watched. And when I first came aware of him before I started buying his material, I spent 30 days on YouTube. Every spare second I had, what is going on here? And, you know, what is Prime Radiant, and what is Oversoul, and da-da-da. And every time he'd touch on a new topic, I write it down and open a new window and listen to more until I had passed out going to bed that night, because it was so interesting. And I could tell from from what was going on, that it was information that I had been seeking for this entire lifespan. So, you know, Bashar Communications, for instance, has a place on the website, hey, you know, if you watched our YouTube videos, or if you receive material laterally in any type of way, you know, here's a way to exchange that out. And they explain the equitable exchange of energy as well in this place. And it says under donations on the top, bashar.org. And that's a prime example of clearing the energy body and the monetary body, and just releasing some of that subconscious stuff that might be in there that you're like, you know, because you may not consciously be aware of it at all the time, but you've listened to that music a whole bunch of times, or you've watched that movie or what have you, and it's not a digital copy from the Blu-ray you had. It's one that you downloaded or a friend gave you or what have you, and, you know, you don't feel an equitable exchange on that. Hop on eBay or Amazon and buy that DVD, even if it's used, and own it and feel a little bit better about that. And I started doing that late last year, buying more and more things that I might have had some inequity on. And it does feel good, and, you know, giving things to Bashar Communications if you feel, and, you know, I don't work for them or what have you. I'm just saying, as far as an example of equitable exchange, that's a fantastic idea of equitable exchange, and it's and the way that they write it out on the Bashar website is very forthcoming as far as being able to quickly understand it. So I think that is everything I wanted to share. The idea of equitable exchange and fair trade are I think, very similar terms, in that there's a lot of transparency and disclosure that goes on there and under fair trade, where they go, hey, we went and bought this coffee, and we bought it from a farm in Africa, and here's the receipts, and here's how much we paid, and here's it shows that the family is, you know, working the farm, and that they've done it all organically, and so on, and here's the documentation to show that, so that when they're selling this, it's transparent on their website. You can see, oh wow, then here's how much they even paid. A lot of times, you know, we paid equivalent to US like $4.18, and we're selling it for $6.50, and here's our profit margin. And this allows us to keep doing that and to give infrastructure for water and other things into this local area so that this area can rejuvenate and so on and so forth. So like, wow, that's awesome. So this idea of transparency is that you need to be transparent to yourself first. You know, you need to be transparent to yourself first. You need to be honest with yourself and just say, hey, do I have any inequity in my life? Have somebody donated to something to me, given me a service, or done something for me, and I'm in the position now to be able to, you know, even that out a little bit and give them something back, whether it's a hug or a thank you or a phone call or monetarily if you want to send them something, or a gift or thank you or Amazon gift card or any one of a number of things that you can do. Just something to start evening the energetic playing field a bit. So I hope that helps. That's everything I felt like I needed to share. Love and light, and have a fantastic day.